Okay, so yes, we are doing a Skyblock series. They're using a data pack. You guys are probably familiar with it if you have any knowledge of Skyblock stuff. It's called Skyblock Infinite. Basically, what the data pack does is it alters the terrain generation in the game so that the terrain doesn't generate, except for the island and a new island when you enter a biome you've not been in before. If you do the seed setting, which we're actually going to leave the outer islands on seed, or should we do the classic? What do you guys think? You know what? Let's actually do classic. And we're going to do that for the island as well. Off here. Okay, we want a new world type. And let's go ahead and start. There we go. Welcome to Skyblock Infinite. Okay, so we have, this is the latest Minecraft update with the leaves falling and the dry leaves and all that kind of stuff. You can see just barely off in the distance the other islands. Don't mind the scratching on the door, that is the dog. She likes to be with people, so he doesn't like the doors closed right now. But anyway, here is our starter chest. It has our 10 obsidian, some glowberries, some sea pickles, some sugarcane, some ice, and some lava buckets. But really, what I want to do is just start off on this classic island and kind of... Let me pause it. So, Skyblock is one of my favorite ways to play Minecraft. And I've been watching a lot of creators do Skyblock series, and like, they do pretty good, but there's a lot of things that they don't know that they can just do in the vanilla game, and they'll use data pack stuff to like change loot tables around and whatever, so they can get infinite amounts of things that they think they can't get through vanilla, but they can. So I wanted to do this series and just teach anyone who's interested in Skyblock just how to do all of the Skyblock stuff, how to get your hands on an infinite amount of almost every resource in the game, and just really do it up, have a good time, and whatnot. I'll be doing these streams probably once a week. It's going to be, the stream itself is going to be the full thing. I might do some off-camera stuff, I'm not sure yet. But like, you're going to get to see a lot more with the streams than you will with the YouTube videos, which will be edited from these streams. So, it is 5:45 right now. Probably going to go to like 8:30 tonight with this one, and we'll just get as far as we can with this. So yeah, anyway, so this is the classic Skyblock Island, this little L-shaped spit of dirt and grass up in the sky with one oak tree and your starter chest with the starting resources that we already looked at. And in this version of Minecraft, they've graciously given us glowberries and sea pickles, which is in addition to what they used to give you way back. So yeah, we have this island, as you can see just off in the distance. There's the other starter islands with the other resources that we can get a hold of. Can't tell what that one is, actually. Interesting. It looks bigger than what I would expect. That seems more like the size I'm expecting. And then, of course, we have structures. The reason that we use the Skyblock Infinite data pack is so that structures will still generate in this world, even though the terrain doesn't. So we can still do things like conquer an ocean monument and get all of the ocean monument loot, the prismarine and that kind of stuff. We can find a stronghold with an end portal and still go to the end. And I don't think witch huts actually generate. I haven't seen any in just exploring the pack beforehand, getting ready for the series. But let me know if I'm wrong about that. But the major structures that give you access to things that you would want, trial chambers also still spawn. So yeah, the structures that give us things we can't get through the normal, just vanilla way of doing Minecraft, they're still in this world. We have to find them, but they're still here. Nether is also void of most terrain, like the overworld, but there should still be fortresses and bastions, and we'll have to find those and exploit them for their resources. And so yeah, this is as close as you can get to the classic Skyblock experience while still having... What the heck is my skin? Okay. Okay. Well, that's not my normal skin. I'll have to fix that later. That's just one of the extra default ones, I guess. So I don't know why mine didn't load, but yeah, something to work on later. But yeah, this is about as close to classic Skyblock as you can get and still have access to the other 2 dimensions like in their entirety. Now the end does not have the terrain generation modifications that the overworld and the Nether do. It still generates terrain like it normally does. They're already islands floating in the sky. So it's about as Skyblock as you want, but it gives you a lot more space. Get to the end, it's a good place to build a lot of larger projects if you don't want to build a platform for them ahead of time in the other dimensions. But yeah, this is it, and it's going to be a minute before we get to the end. So that's all that. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started here. First thing we're going to want to do is get some of this grass, well, some of this dirt, really. This goes down by 3 layers. We want to make sure we don't destroy all the grass as we go down. Yeah, we want to make sure it carries down. Oh, crap. So a lot of people would grieve about that. It kind of sucks because it's going to be a minute before we can make more, but it's not a huge deal. You can actually make more dirt. It's an infinite resource now. There's a couple different tricks on how to make more dirt, and we will be going over those. Of course, most people know the combining dirt with gravel to make coarse dirt, and then putting it down, tilling it to turn it into farmland, and then taking it back up, and it turns into 4 blocks of regular dirt from 2 blocks of regular dirt and 2 blocks of gravel. Gravel obviously is an infinite resource because of the piglin bartering, so if you can get that running, should have gone down 1 more level, but that's okay. We're going to fix that in just a little bit. And basically what I'm doing is just expanding around the tree here. So I've got a little bit more room to catch saplings should they fall. And I'm trying to give myself like 2 blocks in every direction around this tree. Okay, so that should work. And now let's actually cut down the tree. Okay, no seeds, not a problem. If we preserved some of our grass, we'll be able to get ourselves more of the tall grass by bone mealing the regular grass. And we can get bone meal from breaking down other organic stuff. Leaves is a big one. Alright, and as far as like drop rates for saplings, there's really no difference between punching and just letting them fall. Okay, we got sticks. Really need a sapling though, guys. Come on. Okay, there is a sapling up here. And I think this is why there's the confusion. Oh, there's 2 saplings. Nice. I think this is why there's the confusion with a lot of people about the drop rates. If you do a test and you just let leaves decay, sometimes saplings will fall on top of leaves and they will despawn before the leaves completely decay. And so if you're just like collecting all the drops in a hopper versus what you get from punching the leaves, it's going to look like you got back fewer saplings from the decaying than you did from the punching, but in reality, it's just because the it's just because the some of the items despawned while sitting on top of the leaf blocks. So if you're wondering why we originally stopped level up, this is why. So we can recover as much of this dirt as we possibly can. Alright, so we're actually going to turn some of our wood into planks, pretty much all of it right now. And we're going to use this instead of dirt, because it's easier to replace at this stage in the game. And if I was a smart person, I would have turned these into crafting table, which we'll put down, and then made myself some half slabs. So that will actually let us get a little bit further. And because these are lower, we'd be able to recover these pretty consistently with this method. Alright, so no harm, no foul, just a little waste of time. No waste of resources, which is a good thing. So yeah, let's... Okay, there's actually something down there. A lot of the lower structures in the world are going to end up being like ocean ruins, from what I've seen. Geodes also still spawn, so we can do all the amethyst stuff. I haven't seen it in mine shafts, but I don't know that they don't spawn. They might still. I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing so I don't kill all of our grass while I'm doing this. So yeah, if you're... Okay, there's grass over there, so I can kill all of this, and that's not a big deal. Yeah, if you're trying to recover all the blocks, you can stand on top of one with half slab below, land on the half slab, and you'll pretty consistently grab the block every single time. So that just helps some of the resource recovery. And if you're doing Skyblock, if you've never done this particular play mode before, you'll probably find that the shift key is your best friend. You'll hold it down for most of the beginning of the playthrough. Okay, so now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 or 5. Okay, we got a 5x5 platform. Here's our centerpiece. We're probably going to lose this. Oh, no, we got it back. Nice. This here, and plant another tree. And we'll just let that do its thing while we work on moving some of the rest of the stuff around the island. And getting some other stuff set up. Another great reason to use half slabs is because you can set them to this lower thing, and as your island expands, but before you have torches, mobs won't spawn on these lower slabs. So it is an excellent thing to build the beginnings of your island out of. Now, thinking you can expand the tree farm in that direction. So for right now, let's make one block strip off to the side here. That is for our other stuff, such as the crafting table. And yeah, it's gonna look like it's hovering there. That's not a big deal. We can also these things. And get our chest. And move it down. Also look like it's hovering, and then we're going to put all of this stuff right back where it was. Because we do not want to lose any of this. Dirt we can also put in here. Saplings, just in case. Oh, we did manage to get some wheat seeds, actually. I didn't realize. Okay. So there we go. We got one plank left. We're waiting for a tree to grow. Here and grab this grass. Gotta be very careful to leave some grass so it can expand once the sun comes up to this lower patch here. Okay, so now the next thing is probably a cobblestone generator, so we can get started doing some rudimentary building with something that's not wood. And that's what these two things come to play for, and a lot of this dirt, because, you know, the lava will set this on fire. So where do we want to set this up? I mean, probably over here. Yeah, I think over here will be good. Question, of course, is how exactly we do that. So let's grab some dirt. Like that. There we go. We are going to I want to break this block of dirt, but I don't want to lose it. I kind of want to use these as part of the wall. Okay, let's just break it. If we lose it, we lose it. Okay, we got it. Good. Now, probably going to lose. I'm going to leave that slab there for now. Alright, so water. Okay, so lava source actually needs to go here. water source right here. Stand right here, suicidally close to the edge. Our first round of cobblestone will go to like fixing this. But yeah, let's make a pickaxe. We have 2 sticks from our tree and 3 planks that we can use to make a wooden pick. And let's grab our cobblestone generator resources right here. Okay, yeah, first things first. Raise our ice. We're going to break our ice. And so we have water. Lava here. And boom. Cobblestone generator. Super basic, but it works quite well. So why are these elements important? So yeah, obviously you don't want to turn your lava into obsidian, which is a huge risk. And yeah, sometimes you lose your cobblestone. Lava is part of it. So we want the water to flow and go down. This is perfect because the water is never going to go past this point. It's going to get here and it's going to go down. Now the reason we don't put the lava here, because if the water touches the lava directly, it's going to turn it into obsidian, and that's not what we want. So we want this flowing water to touch flowing lava. So we don't turn our source into obsidian, but instead we get cobblestone. The lava goes through here, flows over to this spot, touches the water, and then we get cobble. Cool, huh? Now there's obviously ways to do much fancier versions of this. Right now, we're just getting started. We're going to mine basically as much cobble as we can. And that'll be that. And I kind of forgot I need to watch the comments, so it's been a minute since I have streamed, guys, so I apologize for the roughness around the edges, but now we're rolling. Basically, we're going to do this until this pick breaks, and we're going to use cobble to expand the island. We're going to move the cobble generator to an area basically made out of cobblestone. So there's no risk of setting anything on fire, and we have it in a more convenient location than this. And yeah, that'll be good. But if you want to get real fancy, at this point in the game, you technically have all the resources you need to make regular stone and stone bricks. So you could take the cobble, make yourself a furnace, use the wood that you're getting from your trees to fuel said furnace, and cook any cobblestone you get into stone, and then use it directly or craft it into stone brick slabs, stone brick stairs, stone brick walls, all that stuff. And make some fancy distinctions with what you're doing with the island. For instance, if you don't wear a whole cobblestone generator made out of cobblestone, for fear that you might confuse which part you're supposed to mine, you could cook up some stone, turn it into stone bricks, and then that gives you a little bit of distinction. You know, you're not supposed to dig the stone bricks, just the cobblestone. Alright, and we have another tree, so let's go grab that while we are able. And in fact, we're going to go ahead and expand this platform just a little bit. Before we harvest the tree. So that way, we can be sure we are getting all of the saplings. I can't really tell what that is down there. looks like grass has expanded a little. Okay, so why is this not flowing down, you're wondering? If I updated it, it probably would. But right now, it is good. We'll just do that. And now, probably do one more ring on this. Yeah, the larger the area around your tree, the more likely it is you're going to capture all of those saplings and sticks and apples, when we're talking about oak trees, that are going to fall down from your trees when they get cut down. Got our wood slab back, so that's cool. Alright, now let's take down our new oak tree. The great thing is our last one gave us 2 extra saplings beyond the one we needed to replace it. So this one doesn't even have to give us a sapling. We're pretty much just in the money zone as far as wood generation from the get-go, which is awesome. Now we do have the insomnia setting turned on. We've experienced 1 night so far. That one. Once you've experienced 3 sleepless nights, you start getting phantoms. So we will have to make ourselves a little bit of a shelter to wait out the night. And I think what we'll end up doing we would have lost that had we not expanded this. So that was excellent choice. That goes there, and sorry, just money. Yeah, so I think what we'll end up doing is when we use cobblestone to move the generator, probably over to like here-ish, we'll actually set up a little roof and like enclosed area where we're sitting and mining the cobblestone, so the phantoms don't even spawn. Because if you're under a roof, they won't actually spawn, which is cool. And my pick is almost broken, so let's go ahead and make ourselves a couple stone pickaxes. I've got an achievement, getting an upgrade, which is awesome. We'll break these down into planks, so those are available. Got some slabs. We're going to finish off our wood pick. No sense in wasting it. And then we will probably move this cobblestone generator to something area that's a little less precarious than just sitting on the edge here. We might even build a double cobblestone generator. Actually, we won't do that yet, because we need 2 water sources for that. And as it stands right now, we have but 1. Now, you can use just 1 water source to get 2 water sources, but in order to pull that off, we need glass bottles and a cauldron, in addition to the bucket we already have. Perfect. So we now have 18 cobblestone. Enough to build, basically rebuild this over here. Let's hand it out. Alright, so let's go here. I want to be mining the cobblestone in this location. Right? Yeah, so this is where I want to be mining cobblestone from. This. order to do that, I want lava here. Okay. That's nerve wracking. Let's do that. We want lava here. We're going to want a back piece here. No, we actually want lava source right here. So that needs to be there, and this source is here. No, I had it right. Back goes here, source here, close here. Here. That. I may get this back, I might not. Okay. And then this goes here. Okay, so basically, lava source will go right here. And then we need water to flow down this way. It'll be flowing here, sources here, back out of the water container right there. Jump up here. Sides. Okay. Almost gonna flow here. Actually, water source would go here. So do this. Lost Cobble, not a big deal. And another. Okay, I think we've got it. So let's grab our buckets. And this is night 2. Alright, yeah, the lava will flow here and make a cobblestone. Perfect. Grab this. And jump up here to put it in here. And we'll just do a quick test. Hopefully I'm not one. Huzzah! And sometimes that will happen. So let's see about putting backstop there. Try and force it towards me. Okay. There we go. And that is Cobble generator ready. Alright, so now I have Cobble generator in a location where it's not going to burn anything down, hopefully. The goal anyway. But now, let's go through here. Out the dirt we don't need. Oh, that's where we're holding shift. Shift is our friend. and grass has moved down to this lower level. Excellent. I think what we will do is kind of do this sort of a thing. I need to that there. Here. I can grab this dirt. And we don't care that we lose the slab. Dirt's going to go here. We're just going to take this dirt, and this dirt. We don't need this here. Alright, that should be good. Alright, so now we have stripped dirt that can support our grass. We have a place to grow our tree. We have a cobblestone generator. So things are looking pretty good. Now we probably want to start expanding the tree farm. 1, 2, 3. And on the 5th space, block of dirt. And then we want... Should we have 5 whole spaces? We should have 5 whole spaces. Crap. Okay, well, second block of dirt we've lost. That's okay. Alright, so second tree will grow here, and we will build up a nice platform to go around that. After this, we're going to start looking at the food situation. Since we also don't want to starve, and we haven't really gotten any apples from our trees yet. Go ahead and these into clams. See how far this gets us. That's got 4 from the edge. We really only need 1 more here. Could use the wood slab, but I'm not going to do that. Just can't bring myself to do that. But we are going to plant ourselves an additional sapling. Expand our growing abilities here. And then, like I said, we're going to look at farmland. Now, obviously, we want to keep some of this as grass. And that's totally fine. But we do want to try to grow some food if we can. And I'm holding the bucket. So if you're playing Skyblock, don't carry the bucket around if you don't need to. Just in case you fall off or whatever, because it's super duper hard to replace. And it makes moving your lava and your water really, really inconvenient. Because, you know, obviously, bucket's one of the only ways to do that. The other thing that we need to do is make that roof structure I was talking about. because tonight is night 3. I can't remember for sure if the phantoms come on night 3 or after night 3. So we will find out. But I would love to have a roofed area to retreat to once we've got that all set up. The other thing that you could potentially do to prevent the phantoms from spawning is make sure that during the night your character is below ground. So you may have noticed right now skies are blue and whatever. If I crouch, everything goes black. That is because we are now below ground. Well, we're crouched. We go uncrouch, we're above ground. So anything below the level you are currently on, the lowest level of your starter island, is going to be below ground. And phantoms won't spawn if you are below ground at night. Just part of the mechanics and how they work, so. Okay. If you are unable to build a roof structure of any kind by the 3rd night to prevent them from spawning, that's another option for you. And maybe at this point you move a lot faster than I have, and you have a mob farm and enough string to make 3 cotton or 3 wool, and you can make yourself a bed. And if that's the case, more power to you. As soon as you sleep, phantoms stop spawning for the next 3 days. So there you go. The other thing we should do is make ourselves a furnace. And when we get access to more wood, we should also increase the storage capacity of our chest. Right now, let's just get as much cobblestone as we can with this pickaxe. Alright, got a cobble collector advancement. I assume that's once you hit a certain amount collected. There are going to be some advancements on here that are Skyblock specific because of the data pack, I'm pretty sure. And like I said, with some of the other creators use data packs to change loot tables, and this one does change the loot tables of some mobs. But for the stuff that we can get in other ways, infinitely in vanilla, we're not going to utilize those features because I want to show you how to do it through vanilla. So for instance, the Skyblock Infinite data pack does change Husk's loot tables, the desert zombies, so that they drop sand when they die. So for that reason, I'm not going to be building a mob spawner in a desert biome because there are other ways to get sand infinitely in vanilla, so I don't need to use that feature. On the other hand, ancient debris is something you cannot get infinitely or otherwise, even at all in Skyblock normally. So if we want to get any of that, they did modify one of the mobs, I think magma cubes, potentially to drop. Oh, it's fish. Nice. I didn't think fish would spawn in this, but there you go. Yeah, I think its magma cubes barely drop ancient debris when they die, so we may end up making a magma cream farm or a magma cube farm to try to get ancient debris out of a bastion or something, because they have spawners for magma cube. So if it's something I cannot get through vanilla, I will use the data pack features, but otherwise, I'm going to avoid them like the plague. I need these trees to spawn. But anyway, let's get a couple more slabs here. This guy over. So we can finish out our platform. It's missing the corner. Okay. And like I said, we need a roof over our head while we are mining. So Gonna be cobblestone for now, because that's kind of what we've got. And I think we'll use some of the half slabs. Cobblestone is also great for this kind of project because it is lightning resistant. Alright, I think from there I can build the rest of this. It'll also keep me from accidentally jumping into the lava whenever I go up there, which will be fantastic. Okay, so now I technically have a covering. I'd like to expand that just a touch. One short. That's frustrating. There. Put this here. Like a style thing. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Let's actually remove these. Do full colors. This is not necessary, this is purely an aesthetic change. So if you guys like, don't worry about doing that. And that actually gave me an extra slab, so I can put this back. Because I didn't actually love the wood, but I was consistently one slab short with the cobblestone. Okay, so once the phantoms come, you can sit right here and mine cobble. We're under a covering, so should be good to go. Not fancy, but functional. Now, let's work on addressing our food shortage. Need some sticks so we can make a hoe. Go ahead and make stone hoes because at this point I have cobblestone. Why make wood tools? And I'm actually going to leave this outer edge all completely grass. And we don't have water over here, so I'm going to need to plant this basically as soon as we till it. It's not going to grow very fast, but there you go. So that will, even without water, this is going to stay planted. Another cool feature of stuff. Now when it's fully grown and we harvest it, this can dry out and will cease to be farmland. Till it again, so it's a whole thing. However, as it stands right now, with something planted in it, this will never cease to be farmland, even though it's dry, which is awesome. All right. What next? I guess the next big thing would probably be getting down to the bottom of the world. Now, if you guys don't use the F3 menu, I apologize. I do use the F3 menu. In my opinion, it is part of vanilla Minecraft. Right now, we're at 61.5 blocks at foot level. That's why the perspective shifts. Because if we even go down half a block, which is what crouching does, puts our head below ground level. Hence the perspective shift. We can use this to see how far down we're going. We actually need to bring with us like 2 stacks of cobblestone, really, to get all the way to the bottom of the world. And we can use our water right here to help us like kind of flow all the way down. So let's get rid of all that nonsense and get some more cobblestone going. Okay, of course, they're all going into the lava, naturally. There we go. That is somewhere now. question you might be asking yourself is, why bother going to the bottom of the world? Can't you just build everything up here? Well, yes and no. So, one of the things you're going to want in your Skyblock Island is a passive mob farm. Or even if you're doing hostile mob farm, spawns occur from the bottom of the world to the top of the world. That's just the way the code works. So, it is more efficient to build your farms at the bottom of the world, especially in Skyblock, so that spawns happen more quickly. That's true for passive mob farms and hostile mob farms both. The other thing that you're going to want down at the bottom of the world, besides just the space, is access to slime chunks. Those start at Y level 40, or at least they used to, before they changed the way the underground generates. I'm not sure if that's still correct, but I believe it is. And that gives you a great option to set up slime farms. Slime farms are great if you're doing anything with redstone. And I think they changed the lead recipe so you don't need slime balls for leads anymore. I wish they had done that a long time ago. But you used to need them for leads. Obviously you need them for sticky pistons and slime blocks. You can use them together with blaze powder to make fire resistance potions, well, magma creams, which you can then brew into fire resistance potions, or craft together to get magma blocks. So lots of good reasons to have slime blocks available to you. And you actually need slime balls to breed frogs. So when we get frogs, we'll need them for that as well. But yeah, lots of good things. When we finally do the ocean monument thing, we're going to be using some slime blocks to help us get in initially and do all of that. Because even with mining fatigue, you can instantly break a slime block with your fist or any tool. So they're really awesome for that as well. Okay, so I'm noticing a trend here where we are getting blocks flying up and over. I'm going to make this wall a little bit higher to fix that. I also want to expand this. Okay, nice. The tree actually grew over to our roof, which is amazing. It means we don't want to take this any further this direction, but we can just come all the way out here. And I want to see if phantoms spawn. This might be a terrible idea. We have no food. Let's see if we're out in the open. Okay, so it looks like it might be after the third night they start spawning. So not on the third night, which is good. We got all these leaf blocks. Hopefully this is not too close to the lava such that it might end up burning. I don't think it is. But I've had crazier things happen. That's why we wanted to jump to Cobble so quickly. We just don't want any fire hazards on our island, especially when it's like a half block thick. That burning is a bad thing. Hey, first apple. Okay, so we can eat this as food if we need to, or we could potentially try to save it to make golden apples out of. I don't think I actually got any saplings from that, but we got 2 apples, and thankfully we already have extra saplings, so not a huge deal. Yeah, if that had been our first tree, that would have sucked. And it is very much luck of the draw on that kind of thing, so. Alright. That one goes there. That's these into planks. And our chest. Okay, and now we have access to food. Blueberries. I'd actually be able to start farming these right now. I'm gonna put this one right here. It should go down to here and produce a berry. Might have to bone meal it to make that happen. That would actually give us food source as well. So we're just gonna let that do its thing. So now this is not purely aesthetic, which is awesome. We also have sea pickles, which we're not gonna mess with right now, and we have sugarcane, which we can't really mess with because we need dirt and or sand next to water. And right now our only water source is over here, and it's next to cobble. So yeah, that's kind of where that is. How big is this? 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Let's make ourselves our 6 slabs here. And the easiest way for me to get up. Oh, because this is here, I can't do that now. Okay. Interesting. I need to make myself a temporary access. Expand the roof back this way. And like I said, we're going to bring this up. And the reason for that is, so as we're mining, they're not flying out the back. This is super ugly so far. So we will have to work on fixing that. But yeah, so now we have a covered area where we can do something productive through the night until we're able to just sleep through the night. Which is kind of awesome. We're not just like sitting here waiting. One thing that we could potentially do, and probably should do, at least it seems like it would be smart, is to go ahead and make, or actually move the crafting table over to here somewhere, maybe replace this piece, so that we can make more pickaxes throughout the night. This seems like a bad place for it. Oh no. Did a stupid thing. Okay, so put this down. Make our pickaxe. So I can break this. And now we can put it there. Okay. Good. Good, good. Alright, so the chest can maybe go here. On a more permanent basis, so let's get rid of these. Replace them with full blocks. We can fit everything in our inventory, which we still can. It's great. I can take this part. Yeah, the beginning stages of a Skyblock Island is going to be a lot of shuffling and getting pieces in place so that they're out of the way of everything else that you're trying to accomplish. bucket, sugarcane, and sea pickle. Obviously, obsidian put up here. Now we have saplings, apples, poppies and dandelions, and some random production bits and bobs over here. Cool food, cool. Okay. Now, got this stuff going on. We've got plenty of cobblestone with which to use to reach the bottom of the world. And we're going to leave everything that's not cobblestone here. We don't lose it. And that includes this. We actually are going to make an extra pickaxe to leave here, just in case we fall and lose this one. Okay, and now let's go F3. See about okay, so using the F3, we can kind of monitor where we're at as far as the height. And once we get closer to the bottom of the world, we can start hitting the spacebar and try to make sure that we don't fall out of it. Getting that very last block in there is so sketchy. We might be able to pull it off, we might not. Yes, the mod pack is Skyblock Infinite. Yeah, and I actually used the data pack version, so I didn't have to install any mods. You just sort of drag the folder, drag the data pack into the data pack folders when you're making the world. And my wife will likely be editing this over the course of the week and posting it on YouTube. So I'll see if she can include a link for the data pack in the description of the video too, in case anyone else wants to try it out. Nope, that's... Thankfully, we put it an extra block away. I did not plan on that happening, and had I been right up against the water stream, that would have actually killed us right there. It would have stopped the water stream, and we probably would have fallen and not been able to catch it, which would have sucked. So I'm glad we have that extra space. Alright, negative 64 is the very, very bottom of the world now, so we're literally just watching our Y level, trying to make sure that we don't fall out of the world on accident. That sounds like a fish. Hopefully it's not like a drowned or something. That would suck so hard. I don't know if they can spawn in flowing water, honestly. But I certainly hope not. Almost there. Okay. I think that is officially the bottom. Could be wrong. Oops. Oh, fish. But I'm going to say that's bottom. And we're going to call it. I need to go grab some slabs real quick so I can make a platform down there without making a mob spawning platform on accident, because we do not have torches yet. Not there. In fact, I think we're going to do this so that I can more easily slide up and back out. Okie doke. Whew. Always nerve-wracking. So let's grab some slabs and make a couple more, like I said, so we can make a little platform down there. I don't know that we're going to build much down there just yet. But I do want to have the platform ready to go in case we want to. And if you hold down shift, you can obviously go down faster. Not something probably usually do. Especially as we get close to the bottom here. Okay. Nope. Oh, we can go down a block further. God. Okay. Oh, it's gonna be so sketch. Okay. Okay. We are getting fish. Did not intend for this to be a fish farm, but there we go. Okay, this is officially as low as we can go. We're getting ourselves some fish from it, which is amazing. Fish would actually work quite well as food. And we got some bone meal somehow. Oh, good times. I love it. Watch the sunset from the very bottom of the world here. Not too shabby. Alright, so we have ourselves a little tropical fish farm, looks like. Can we cook these? Honestly not certain. We'll have to give it a shot. Alright, but in the meantime, find our way back up. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Alright, so switching from water streams to ladders as quickly as possible is probably smart. And I'm likely pretty lucky that I have not had that issue until just now. Yeah, these fish are starting to, like, freak me out here. Alright, hopefully I'm above their spawning level now. Alright. As long as you got the roof, we're good to go. Either my trees grew. Sucks. Wheat is on the way. One thing that we can do. Oh god, oh god, oh god, I'm done. I'm done, I'm done. Okay. I did not think that through. I want to replace that with a furnace. But I should probably have the furnace ready. Okay, there we go. Now we have crafting table and we have furnace. We cook fish. We need some fuel. Get from the chest here. Make 4 of these. Do 6. And like I said, we have some bone meal, which is awesome. No. Well, what are you supposed to do with these? Because I kind of have a farm for them now. Alright, so the other thing we could possibly do we have an extra slab, right? Yes. Let's make a composter. And I don't know where I want it officially yet. Maybe here. No, because that's my entrance to the up and down. And then this is where we're mining cobblestone. We'll just set it here for now. Let's see if we can compost the fish. Oh, can I just eat them raw? Okay. Well, that's our food source for right now. Raw tropical fish. And we'll decide where to put this in a bit. Let me see bone meal. Alright. We got an extra glowberry. So as we get bone meal, we can make more glowberries. And yeah, let's just get some cobblestone since it's night and we don't want phantoms. Seems like the thing to do. Alright, so we have managed to tear down the majority of our starter island. That there's some grass left over we're going to use for farming. As we're able to get our hand on more wheat seeds. We have cobblestone generator, obviously, with a roof and a little bit of structure to help keep the cobblestone falling in the void and going in my pockets instead of just being wasted. And also to keep the phantoms away, we have a crafting table and furnace for basic crafting stuff. A composter, we are growing our glowberries, and most importantly, I think, we have a way to get to the very bottom of the world, which is fantastic, because that's where we can get some like hardcore farms and stuff going. So eventually we will probably move all of this down there. But a lot of what can be done, early stages, is done. And we're going to be collecting up materials so that we can try to visit some of these other islands that are relatively nearby to grab resources from them. Apparently we have a fish farm, which I didn't intend to make. I was just trying to get to the bottom of the world, but there you go. It does what it does. One of the key things I think we want to try and do next is generate bone meal. And I'm not sure how we should go about that yet. Maybe as we expand the tree farm, that will solve itself. Because we'll just have more saplings than we know what to do with, but until that happens... It'd be nice if we could put fish in there, but... I guess we're just gonna raw dog those for now. And hopefully not get poisoned as a result. I don't know if the tropical fish can poison you or not, but hopefully not. Okay, let's see, this is why we put this here. We're in this situation. Still night. We can't come out from under the shelter yet. Make ourselves some extra pickaxes, and just keep going at it. One of the other things we want to try to do is get more water. And if I wasn't... I imagine there's water on one of the other islands. But I kind of want to play as though there isn't. Because I want to show you guys how to get infinite water on more extreme versions of Skyblock. And that's going to require doing a mob farm. So that would technically be something we should build on the lower level. We'll have to look at that. Ironically, having infinite water sources helps you make better mob farms, so... Would be great if we already had infinite water in order to make said mob farm. Nevertheless... There are other tricks that you can do. For instance, mob AIs are designed to walk towards clumps of blocks, which I find interesting. I think specifically so I can direct them towards like player-built structures, or structures in general that players might be hiding in. And since that's the case, you can actually abuse that little bit of code in their programming. We're actually going to block here. So if it bounces up, maybe it'll not go in the lava. You can also do that here. Don't need to, but I'm going to. I can't hear though, because I need that access for the elevator. Actually, I'm gonna remove this. I like having the light. So, there you go. Okay, so it's daytime. We can come back out now. Let's make ourselves an axe. Why not? That will speed up the tree harvesting ever so slightly. Alright, we got another sapling. That's good. Like I said, eventually we'll just be getting more saplings and we know what to do with as a result of the tree farm, but for now, yeah, I think this one just gave us like 5 saplings. Which is great, because then we can expand the tree farm. Right now, let's actually go ahead and do that. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We do the strip. Okay, there's 5 between these, right? This one. 5. And then we place a dirt block. In this case, we're actually going to be putting down 2. Yep. And 1 here. And we're going to build around those. And while we're building, I'm just going to go ahead and replant some saplings. So those can be doing their thing. Run ours. And 4. Consistently 1 short. I don't know why. Okay, let's just a couple more. Consistently. Alright, so we now are growing 4 trees. And if we want to, we can expand that out again. I think we want to. which I should go ahead and make a lot more slabs to do. Get our dirt. Yeah, expanding the tree farm is going to be another big thing that you do at the beginning of your Skyblock Islands. You need wood for a lot of stuff. And especially when you get the other tree types, you're going to want access to those, mostly for aesthetic reasons. Nope. That's incorrect. There we go. And the more wood you have, the more fuel you have for your furnace. You can start cooking your cobblestone to like fancier blocks, etc., etc. Just opens up a lot of stuff. Two. And okay, and then let's expand this direction. We're definitely going to need more half slabs for that. 3, 4. Need our dirt and 3 more saplings. Literally all of our saplings. Okay, there's 1 dirt. 2 dirt. 3 dirt. Alright, this will give us 9 tree strong, 9 tree farm. Isn't too shabby. I think that's the mangrove island, now that I'm looking at it. 1, 2. So we can get access to some mangrove wood down there. Like I said, I really have no idea what that is. Two. Yeah, it kind of looks like an ocean ruin. If I had to make a guess, which I suppose I do. That's 3. And we're gonna plant these trees here. Let's see if we can finish this platform before the sun goes all the way down. don't know for sure if we got under here before any phantoms spawned. I kind of think that maybe we did, which is good. Let's go back to mining on cobblestone. I think I want to replace some of these with glass. And let's actually get rid of this. Yeah, I think I want 4 pieces of glass so I can see when it's morning. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that would work. I don't think so, though. The first 4 pieces of sand might be getting turned into glass. Well, thank you, Cashel Gaming. Appreciate it. Okay, and thanks for the follow. Have a good night, and we'll catch you another time. I think we'll keep going for about an hour here. Like I said, I'm just going to gather up as many resources as I can. Obviously going to be doing some tree farming now that the farm has expanded. And I don't know if we'll be setting up a mob farm necessarily. Probably not in this episode. That's more than likely a next time around kind of thing. Because mob farms usually get their own episode. All to themselves. However, we'll have to see how all that goes. And we can certainly get started on a platform or a mob farm so that we are ready to go for the next time. Because like that's really the next big thing, besides trying to go to the other islands, which, like I said, I'm hesitant to do because I want to show you guys how to do this vanilla and like harder versions of Skyblock. Technically the resources are there and available for us. And on the original Skyblock map, I was gonna say the extra water is on the desert island, but I'm thinking maybe it's in the nether, in a chest in the nether. So yeah, that might be harder to get to than I was thinking initially. I might have to look that up so I can say for sure. It's been a long time since I did like classic Skyblock. Where are we on the night? Oh, night. Okay. Yeah, until we get the glass to make windows here, we're just gonna have to keep turning around, I guess, and assessing every now and again what time it is. Alternatively, we could make a clock, but I do not have the resources for that at all. Just like put it in an item frame right here. But that'd be an upgrade for later. this certainly is not the final iteration of the lava farm, or the cobble farm, so. Okay, the pickaxe, another one. I guess we can go ahead and make our other tools too. Trying to be a little bit sparing about how we use the wood. I think we're gonna have plenty here soon, so. Still night. Long night. At least it feels like it. So while we're mining, I will give you some of the world settings just so you know. It is set to survival, obviously. It's also set to hard. I pretty much always play on hard, whether it's my Forever World or Skyblock or whatever. It just, I don't know, more fun for me. And then some of the mechanics actually work better on hard than they do in other modes. So for instance, like converting villagers into zombie villagers and then curing them. In some of the other modes, they do not consistently turn into zombie villagers. Some of the like lower difficulty modes, they die instead. So if you want to do that trick, you're going to want to make sure you're in hard mode. Zombies do break down doors in hard mode, but you can overcome that with turning the trick where you turn the door sideways when you place it. So their code sees it as open, but in fact it is blocking their access to the building. And then obviously mob spawning rates are just a little bit lower when you're not in hard, which is typically good. Unless you're trying to do like mob farm or something, and then not having those rates kind of hurts you. Broke another pick, and it's daytime. Huzzah. Like I said, let's go ahead and make some of our tools since we're here. I always like to have a couple of these stone pickaxes just in case. We do also want to have a shovel. Not that we have anything to shovel yet. But I would also like to get myself a sword in case we fight off phantoms or anything. So that's there. I usually save the second slot for bows. This is for random tools, so axe and hoe are usually what's going to be in there. And this slot is usually for torches, cobblestone, and then some sort of scaffolding block usually goes here. A lot of people use dirt. I don't like to use dirt. But we do what we have to do, obviously, in the beginning. We just don't have that many blocks. A lot of times I'll use wool, because it seems pretty easy to get a hold of. Okay. Like that might be all of our wood so far. Let's go ahead and break down the leaves. Okay. Yep, see, we just are getting stupid amounts of saplings now. And we've got apples coming, which is great. Extra food source besides fish. We need it. And we're also getting sticks, so we won't have to make any more of those. Or, you know, a lot more of them. I am going to need them to make ladders. We're officially finding a better way to get up and down besides the water stream. Because the fish almost killed us. Okay, so those are set up. Now let's go ahead and put our extra saplings here. Saplings there. Let's do extra cobble up here. Slabs. Go here. Cool. So now, let's actually make some torches. So we're going to take some logs and some planks. We're going to cook the logs into charcoal, and then we're going to use the charcoal with some sticks to make torches, so we have access to some lighting technology in case we need it for anything. And I've gone with 4 pieces so that we can just go ahead and make 16 torches. We don't need a ton to begin with, obviously. There we go. Torch time. Alright, we've got ourselves another tree, so let's go ahead and cut this down. Like I said, beginning of Skyblock, a lot of resource collection, getting what you need to do what you need to do. But the cool thing about Skyblock is you're not like collecting resources that are already there, provided by nature. You are creating resources out of essentially thin air using the game mechanics. So you can turn the world into whatever you want. Which I think is pretty awesome. Okay. Like I said, next up is probably making... I'm tempted to leave this here as like a history thing. But then I'm also like, it's kind of ugly and off theme. Not that the cobblestone is much better, but it is certainly off theme. So I might replace these with some cobblestone. And we do have plenty, so... Oh, we made some decent progress this time, actually. Like I say, once we get that mob farm set up, we can make even more progress. So basically the idea with the mob farm, obviously it gets you a lot of stuff that you can use a lot of. You can kill skeletons for arrows and bones and get like bows as a rare drop from them. So it just gives you access to ranged weapon technology, which is fantastic. So you no longer have to get up close and personal in order to deal with mobs. Skeletons also give you access to bones, which you can break down into bone meal to grow lots of things very quickly. Trees, wheat, whatever you are needing. And you can also obviously get gunpowder from creepers, which comes in handy later, not super useful in the beginning of the game. Spiders will give you string, which is great because you can get wool, so you can make a bed and not be messed with, have phantoms attacking you, is what I'm trying to say. But I think one of the most important things is zombies, believe it or not, because they will drop not only armor and weapons and stuff that you can use. Occasionally, they will have an iron shovel, which not super useful, but if you go high enough, depending on the biome you're in, what biome are we? Ocean. I think if I go high enough in this biome, I can get access to snow. When it decides to precipitate. So that's another thing that we'll be trying to get a hold of. Alright, so let's cut down to here. But they will rarely drop, when killed by a player, iron ingots, which is fantastic, because you get 7 of those, you make yourself a cauldron, kill a few witches and get some glass bottles. And you can take the one water source that you have and turn it into more than one water source. Because you can, if you didn't know, you can take water bottles and fill them infinitely from a single water source. And then if you put 3 full water bottles into a cauldron, that makes another full water source that you can pick up with a bucket. Put those 2 water sources together when you're filling from, and the other one, you got yourself infinite water. Or water bottles and buckets, not just water bottles. So yeah, kind of awesome. That's that. Let's put these away. Like I said, we're getting more saplings than we need, which is fantastic. we will keep working on that. Now these we can put away. And yeah, let's get kind of back to the grind of getting more cobblestone. Let's go ahead and fill this up. And then as we cut down trees, that will fill itself up. The question is where to put our mob farm. And obviously we want to take it as low in the world as we can, because that's going to increase the spawn rates. But where specifically? I'm thinking not on a slime chunk, because that would not be ideal. We don't really want slimes spawning in our normal mob farm. And for identifying slime chunks and non-slime chunks and all of that, I would strongly, strongly recommend that you use something like chunk base to figure out where they are. It just makes it a lot easier. However, if you're determined to not use third-party tools, and I can respect that if you are, one of the things that you can do is just build a large spawning platform and section it off by chunks so that whatever spawns there can't get out of that area. And then note the ones you get where there are slime spawning. And you can denote the chunk borders by using F3. If you look in the top left-hand corner, and then go down to the XYZ block, and then it says chunk. Right now we're on 030. And I would have to go out there to leave this particular chunk. But you can see, even as I move a little bit, it's not changing. And the first number and the last number, I believe, are your like north, south, east, west lines. So those will change as you go in each of those directions. And then the 3, I believe, is your top to bottom section. So if we were to go down the water stream, which I'm not going to do right now because I don't want to get killed by a fish. But if we were to do that, in fact, instead of mining cobblestone, probably make enough ladders. Let's try to do that. Oh, that's not enough at all. Need about 2 full stacks of ladders. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have quite enough, but we can get started. And this will help make things a little bit less deadly. Going to put this here. This access is probably also going to be temporary, but a little bit less temporary than the water access. little bit safer. Like I say, it'd be a lot harder to get killed by randomly falling fish this way. Before they were like nudging me out of the water stream and I was like falling decent ways. And I'd really prefer that not happen. Okay, yeah, not quite enough to get to the bottom, but close. And in the meantime, we can get ourselves some more fish. And bone meal. Exactly how many more do we need? That's the question. Two. See? Push me right out of the water, and then it hurt, and that's no good. It's a small platform down here. All tropical fish too. I don't know if this is coming from like a cave, like a lush cave biome. Let's see. No, ocean. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, nope. Getting a ton of fish. Kind of crazy. Yeah, I'm not sure how many more I'd need. That's funny. He was descending the ladder. Gotta love that. And yes, we still have to get into the water stream to get back onto the platform for now. We could potentially fix that though. In fact, I think I will do that very thing. Make ourselves a trapdoor so we can use the ladder directly. All right, let's see. I think that works for now. And like I said, let's go ahead and make a few more sticks here. Okay, it is raining. We're going to take this opportunity access to snow. Don't know if I have the block for it, or if this biome even works for it at all. So far, it kind of looks like no. So, get some more fish. And go back down. Snow is going to be a later thing, looks like. These fish houses have like 0% saturation. But that's okay. Okay, so now if you look at the chunk area again, you can see that the middle number has changed to 5. And now it's changed to 4, so those are definitely vertical chunks. There are certain places where mobs do not spawn. I think the spawn chunks are one of those places. So in chunk 00 is probably not the place to make a mob farm. And we got a screenshot. Awesome. So now, while it's raining, let's go ahead and harvest our wheat here. And we got 1 seed back, so we'll replant it. Ooh. 1 wheat. We are rolling in it. But in the meantime, we've got these 2 bone meal. Crap. That's not what we meant to do. It'll grow back. Meantime, got that, and we'll save the other bone meal for a rainy day. Trapdoor we can put here. It goes here, goes here. Yeah. Don't know if we need more than 6 sticks. I'm gonna go ahead and cut down these trees first. For some reason, I feel like it's going to require more than 6 more ladders to get to the bottom. Seems like more than 6 blocks. And there we go. Just a note from my editor, all of this stuff where I'm just like harvesting trees and not talking. You can definitely time-lapse this if you want for the YouTube videos. Seems like probably the best play for it. Okey-doke. Alright, now we've got some extra logs. More planks. Which we can use to make a few more ladders. And just feeling I have. Plus, I wanted to even out. Okay. Let's see bounce. Powerful effect. Just have this like silhouette of the island above where there's no rain. And just rain falling absolutely everywhere else. Oh, cool. Maybe I didn't need this many ladders, but sure felt like I was going to need more than a few. Ow. Ew. There we go. Yeah, I need every single one of these, actually. Ladder all the way from the bottom of the world to top of the world. Well, not the top of the world, but to the island where we started it. Hey, Romeo, what's up? Not sure why they drop our meals sometimes. If I find out that's a data pack thing, I will be throwing away the bone meal from now on. But obviously I don't want to use that unless I need to for some reason. And even then, like there's other ways to get bone meal. Like composters. So yeah, I'll have to do some research and see if that's a data pack thing or if they normally drop bone meal sometimes. Rarely. And if it's the case that they don't. So the only thing I've used it for so far is the glow berries. So if I find out it's a data pack thing, I'll get rid of the bone meal that I have. And I will throw away the extra glow berries. So I'll just have the one planted that I was given originally, and that's it. Okay, so that's done and dusted. We've got 4 trees, but it's nighttime. Alright, put So like I said, we'll get rid of these and these, then we find out that's data pack thing. And yeah, not so much otherwise. Hopefully it's not a data pack thing and I get to keep those, because it's kind of awesome. I've got some bone meal rolling in. That's there. And probably put away the rest of the ladders, because we don't need those. Production materials over here. I think I'm always just going to leave a pickaxe in here, in case we use the ones we have. I don't want to have to make another wood one. And let's do some more cobblestone grinding here. Alright, so I think I might actually go ahead and call the stream here. We've made quite a bit of progress, honestly. We've got a pretty solid 9-space tree farm set up and rolling, so we've got plenty of wood coming in, lots of saplings coming in. We've made it to the bottom of the world and created a platform, which has also turned into a fish farm, ironically. And we've got ourselves a ladder that goes all the way down to the bottom of the world, so we don't have to always use the water stream, which is great. We've got ourselves a cobblestone generator, complete with a roof, so we can grind cobblestone at night and not worry about phantom spawning. And we've managed to preserve our grass and get just a little bit of wheat rolling, not very much at all, honestly. But that is a-okay. So yeah, we're in a decent spot. I might expand this grass patch down a little bit, but I'm not sure yet. We do need to take this to the bottom of the world, so that's something that needs to happen. Probably a next episode thing, because yeah, I don't think we're ready for that just yet. And yeah, definitely mob farm next episode, because there's a lot of things that we need from hostile mobs and passive mobs. But yeah, I think we've accomplished what we can accomplish for tonight. Yeah, next time we'll be working on a mob farm and possibly a passive mob farm. So look forward to that. Thank you for watching again. Yeah, we'll catch you next time. All right, bye guys.